All right. I think we now have a live hangout on air via YouTube. Of course, I don't know if there's any way for me to be able to do like feed chats. Oh, there's a group chat. All right. So let's talk to Noli and let Noli know this. Lots of technical difficulties, but we're live again for Ropecraft event. All right. Whew. Wow, that was a trip. Google Hangouts, I hate you.
You think you want breakfast before you leave in the morning?
Yes.
I'm gonna try the overnight oatmeal.
I swear that was like pulling teeth. Sure. Uh-oh.
Made it work.
Yes! Oh my god.
People.
We do have people.
Person.
Yes. I can see you and everything. It's amazing.
Ooh. See?
Although we keep flipping back and forth with the videos.
Yeah, because you're on the computer. So on my phone, I just see you, and then there's like a little rectangle of me in the bottom right corner, kind of like Skype does.
Yeah, yeah. On this thing, though, because we're on a broadcast, it's like suddenly showing you and showing it down there and things like that.
Gotcha.
So, since it's just us, you're fine. But if there were people and you didn't want to have your face on there, you could, disable your camera or something.
What?
If I think, actually, Naya, why don't you jump in on this? So on your phone, just to see.
On my phone?
Yeah.
What was your question?
What was that?
What was your question?
Well, I'm just this. This is a sort of a new way to try this. The nice thing about this is I can have a whole lot of people, but the bad part is that in terms of privacy concerns,
It gave me an option though when I started to make it a video call or to make it a call, or I don't know if I could just listen in. I don't know, but I didn't have to push the thing.
Okay. It also shows your name up there.
Yeah, but that's because it's attached to my Gmail.
Yeah. So
I don't actually care.
okay, that's good. That's good. Cool. Well, yeah, it's the technical difficulties of doing this were insane. In that it was making me verify my account with a phone number, but because I have multiple Gmail accounts, it said I'd already used that phone number, and it.
Oh, yeah, I know. I have multiple Gmail accounts too, so.
Yeah, so that was not good. But yeah, so I appreciate the support. You have no questions at all about Ropecraft? Come on, ask me anything.
I don't know. What do you want to say?
Uh,
I'm going to the thing.
You're going to the thing. I'm excited that we have the gala dinner menu finally picked out and ordered.
What all are you doing? Because that is the thing that we are doing.
The gala dinner. We are going to have performances by IP Cookie Monster and Murphy Blue.
I like them.
Kind of like dinner theater kind of things. And then, that's interesting. Now we have 0 viewers.
Still here.
Yeah,
I
don't, but yet it says that.
Yes.
We have that. There'll be a little bit of a kind of a keynote kind of thing that I'll do. I think Master David wants to tell a story, which is always entertaining.
Who?
Master David. He's the producer of the whole event.
I don't know who that is, but okay.
Yeah, you've been to ShibariCon, right?
Nope.
No. Okay, you might not know who he is. He is almost always the oldest person at an event.
That's a descriptor. All right.
He's 76 years old. He's been king in the kink scene in one way, shape, or form. He's a founding member of TESS. Put it that way.
Okay. I know what that is.
Yeah. So he's been around forever, and he's the producer for the event. And usually you can identify him by he's wearing the sort of French nobility, French Victorian kind of long coat with fancy buttons and things like that.
Right. Also a very good descriptor.
And telling very bad jokes.
I like him already.
More than I do. Hey, there's Naya. Yay. Cool. Can I say something? Let's see.
Oh, okay. I gotta go. I can hear myself echoing through your computer. That's rough.
That's okay. It answered my question. You can turn it off.
Ah!
All right. So what happened was that apparently when she did that, then it suddenly decided that she was going to be the one in charge. So.
Oh, is that what it did?
Yeah. So at some
What do you
point,
mean in charge? Like the big face?
yeah, you know how it flipped to her to.
Oh, it's because it's whoever's speaking.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out how to keep that from happening. There's got to be a way, but
I know in like regular Google Hangouts, like if you click on one person, it'll stay on that one person and not flip back and forth. But I don't know if this is what that is. And that's like something that every person has to do. So I don't know.
Oh yeah, look at. Thank you. You just solved that problem for me. I just went to you and stick on you, and then change the other way. Cool. So, how was your holiday then?
I did a whole lot of nothing, so it was pretty great.
High five, us too.
I got to ignore my crazy family for the most part. So
We had a nice brief visit with Crazy Family, and then stopped. So that made it much better.
yeah, we did breakfast, and then my family went to go spend time with my sister, and so I got the whole house to myself and the dogs, and that was it. It was great.
Luckily for us, we basically had an excuse to had to give rides to people home. So about the time that everybody started being uncomfortable with each other, it was time to go. So
Right.
we went home and had fun, sexy times on the couch and watched movies.
Sounds like a fun Christmas.
Yeah, I think that may be a tradition from now on. Actually,
I am fully supporting of that.
yes. So yeah, sex on the couch and then movies.
Sounds good.
That is how traditions start, you know.
Okay, well, I'm glad I got you this thing running, but I have to run.
I appreciate your support. I got it running, and thank you for helping me figure it out. Talk to you later.
Of course. See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Yay, that worked. And it's all good.
Why am I so hungry? So anyway, Sean,
Mm-hmm.
if I make the crock pot oatmeal, will that work?
Sure.
Because then it'll be ready like whenever.
Why does it feel so wrong when it seems so right? I'm ghosted so legit, ridiculous out of sight, blindingly ridiculous, looking self-conspicuous, but man, I'm incognito, so fly off like mosquitoes. Surfing like I'm Randy Cole. could define my motherfucking self. Definition of definition of definition of
Good dancing. Really annoying music. I don't know that we've talked about it or not.
How long are you gonna stay online?
45 more minutes.
I think it said $49.
Hey, Rocket. Let me see here. Why am I not? Where am I not seeing you? I think it's my fault. She was there for a second and then she left. That's okay.
Nellie tweeted you. He tweeted you.
Deviate, erotic rope, Noah, Ishi, Kutumomo. Need to have better lighting. That's a little better. That's just me. Oh, I hear voices. Somebody must come into my hangout.
Hello?
Hey! Hey, you guys. Russ, I see you too, but your mic seems to be muted.
Let me see if I can find some better light.
Hello! There we are. Yay. Hola.
Hello?
Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays.
You too.
Yeah. I just got finished updating the website because apparently Shay is very uncomfortable with the idea of her class being called Advanced Self-Suspension.
Oh.
Apparently she thinks...
I did see some tweets about that, actually.
She's some what?
I said I did see her tweet about that, like, briefly.
Did she tweet about being uncomfortable with it?
No, she tweeted, I was just scrolling through the feed and I saw something from her about advanced, calling classes advanced because that, that suggests that there's some rubric that we're using in the scene when we're really not using any kind of rubric to speak up. I don't know. It was just, like I said, I was just scrolling by and happened to, like, glance at it briefly. I didn't actually, like, take time to read the whole thing.
I think, I mean, I did change it, obviously, to fit her preferences. She's a presenter, so she gets to choose. But I do think that to some extent it's a, as she was saying, well, what are we comparing it to? Advanced compared to circus level stuff, or advanced compared to, and I'm like, well, it's advanced compared to the classes, the self-suspension classes that are normally offered, all of which say they're basic.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think that she was. I'm gonna actually see if I can't find the tweet.
Yeah, but it's up to her. I think there was a little bit of imposter syndrome going on there.
She's very. I don't know if it's that. I think it's more of her trying not to fall into the trap of. As much I've spent time with her, I've talked to her, and I've also seen her tweets. She seems like she's very careful not to suggest any kind of like one true wayism or any kind of like reinforcing any idea that the scene has any sort of structure, overarching structure as far as education goes, which I can see because we don't. Like, that's just the whole point. There's no credentialing body, there's no schools, there's no, standard. She's very careful about not insinuating such for herself. So I can see why she'd be uncomfortable with that particular wording.
I see that. I think it's kind of, to some extent, it's a little unfair. I'm glad it says Florida Fly. That's the title, because if it was just self-suspension, and people came in there and they hadn't bothered to look at any of the tweets or anything like that, I have found the tweet, then they would come in and they'd be like, oh, wait, I didn't know I was supposed to know this stuff already. I didn't know that this was going to be for that kind of thing. Oh, yeah, she mentioned that it is overthinking the meaning of the word advanced. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I totally see her point, because the way things are going in the scene right now, everyone is a whole hot mess. A lot of people who said they had certain credentials turned out to not have them. A lot of people who are, insinuating this kind of cred turned out to not have that cred. So I can see how she'd be very careful about how she feels about marketing herself, I guess. I can see her.
We're trying to set up, safety standards for suspensions. We're talking about, is this tied right? We're talking about having specific rules for consent and negotiations that people are trying to standardize. And I feel like in some ways we are saying on one hand, no, we can't have any standard body, we can't have any credentialing organization, but if you happen to screw up and don't do it the way we're supposed to do it, then we are going to come down on you and tell you you're unsafe. And I think that there's a little bit of trying to have it both ways in the community right now.
There's tons of that. Because, the same people who will say, like newbies, they have no idea what they're doing, they just come and flail around and injure people and do stuff that's unsafe. At the same breath that they say that, they also turn around and, like, look at something like, your pre-cert type thing that's kind of, trying to set at least some basic understanding of what is required here, and say, well, you're judging people's rope, and you're being exclusionary to different types of rope, and what if people want to do X, Y, and Z? And it's generally the exact same people. Like, it's the same people who, and I'm just like, the cognitive dissonance is just like, how? How do you manage to, like, how do you hold those two things at once? So, I totally see it.
I have a little side thing that will probably amuse all of you, but probably amuse Russ and Kashmir more than anything. I got an email today from someone who came to Ramble Brew, and they said they really liked the whole open space format, and they wanted to sort of adopt a version of it to their local munch. And kind of, they didn't want to actually assign the topics, but they wanted it to be a more community kind of thing, and they wanted to know if I would give them permission to use some of the word "grew" in their thing and call it a grunch. Yeah. And of course, my first thought was a grunch, huh?
A grunch.
Like Christmas, a grunch.
Okay.
Like, first of all, that's a terrible name.
It is.
Let's just start there.
And second of all, the GR is my name, and if you have the
Yeah.
GR in your thing, I have to be there. But Can I have a tea in my?
Well, did they say what the acronym was going to stand for?
No. Apparently, again, it's a matter of they just nounified GRU.
They
And
just like the branding, basically.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to them.
well, that's like Philly was saying it. They're doing a GRU, and they really don't want to. They want to de-emphasize rope.
But how?
I'm like, it's in the.
It's in the name. Like, I don't know. I can't.
It was
I
like
can't.
how
Yeah.
we were trying to get the whole rope-tastic out of the name for a little while by
I
turning
did
it
try
to.
that. I had lowercase r for a while. Yeah.
Right.
But no.
But a grunch to me sounds like a munch in Europe. A Graydancer munch. A grunch.
Well, we could always. Didn't we talk once about combining grooves and rope in space and calling it a grope in space?
Huh? Oh man.
that groan right there.
Yeah. I did. There was another post. I was looking at Shay's feed, and there was a post by someone who was doing the whole bemoaning. Oh my God! People say they're going to do edge play, and they don't do the research, and they don't really understand what they're doing, and they don't do that. Because when I do needles and things like that, I always make sure that I have a sterile field and I have sterile gloves on and all these things. And I'm reading it, and I'm just thinking, I can't fix all the.
You can't fix all the stupid in the world.
I'm trying to find another word than stupid, but yeah.
It's just like.
I thought, do I need to comment on this? No, I do not. This does not need to be commented on.
Sometimes you just gotta just let it scroll by.
Right.
Yeah, I guess their local BDSM club has a whole operating theater in it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and they use aseptic techniques is what they called it.
Okay.
I think it was supposed to be antiseptic, but it was like,
sure.
I mean, there can be aseptic technique, but
I don't think you'd want to use it though. No. Sound right.
I have discovered in like 4 years out, which isn't a lot at all, but feels like a ton, that kinky people have a really weird relationship with cleanliness. I'm like, I just saw you eating someone's ass. Like, I just saw you. But now we're having nachos and you don't want us to double dip. Like, I don't understand how your risk assessment works. These are people who I consider like acquaintances and friends, and I tell them all the time, I'm like, your risk assessment doesn't make sense to me because I just saw you ribbing somebody, and now we're having nachos, and you're upset that someone doubled it. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand you, and I've said it to people, and they're just like, well, blah blah blah, and I'm like, all right, it's cool. It just doesn't make sense, but it's cool. And it's just like, it's one of those things. We have to be sterile at all times at the same time that we're fisting someone's asshole. I'm like, your fist is in someone's asshole.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
there's
mats and having mats underneath for suspensions is that, the risk of tripping and falling and injuring yourself is far greater than the risk of someone falling. But everybody just has the whole. It's like when there's an airplane when 9/11 happened, and everybody said, "Oh my God, I'm not going to fly," and so they all drove, even though driving was
more dangerous than flying.
The driving accidents went up higher. So yeah, it's true. It was the safest time.
So yeah, whenever I hear people talking about safety, I generally bow out because I know logic is about to just go flying out the window at any second.
Well, it's like consent. They consented to rimming an asshole. They didn't consent to getting cooties from a double dip.
See, that's different. Because that's different. If they were saying, this is like a boundary thing, but it's like, it's all the squick and the cleanliness issue. Like, that's the part that I don't get, because it's like, I consent to being choked out by people, but I don't like other people hugging me. Like, I understand that. But to say that, like, hugging is somehow less cleanly than being choked out on a concrete floor, like, that's the disconnect that I'm seeing with some of them. I'm just like, this is not any less filthy than the asshole that you just ate. So
I think it's also a matter of if you were saying, I don't want you to hug me because I'm afraid I might go unconscious and, die and be suffocated.
exactly.
But go ahead and choke me.
And that's kind of what it is. They're like, oh, well, I don't want to, catch your cold. I'm like, you just risked hepatitis, but you're worried about a cold? Like, I don't get you. So that's just...
Yeah, like you'll
Rules
lick,
of Ropecraft at all. That'll be a good idea.
you'll lick the bottom of someone's boot, but you won't stick like something else in your mouth,
Exactly.
Hey,
And so,
safety is, not a priority anyway. We'll just make sure everyone is armed.
Exactly. That's really the only way I go about it. I mean, it's Texas, so, like, shouldn't be a problem.
But,
I don't know. So that's how I feel about the safety conversation when it comes to kinky folks. I'm just like, 90% of this won't make any sense, but I'll stick around for the 10% that will enrich me in some way.
I'm also getting a little irritated isn't the right word, but Tiffrith made her post about how there's nothing being done at all to improve the consent culture at rope events.
What? I did see that.
And
I did see that post.
Kim Nova did one today or recently.
Who did one?
Kim Nova is the username.
Oh, I don't know that person.
And they said, again, like, no events are doing anything, it's just the same old thing. And I'm like, am I shouting into a vacuum here?
You are, though.
We're doing.
They're not. The thing about it, and you see my tweets you see my social media, probably all of you, unless you have me muted, which I wouldn't blame you for because I'm very militant these days. If the right people aren't saying something, then nobody's saying it.
Yeah.
Is basically what it is. Like, you'll see all these posts, why isn't anyone talking about X? Meanwhile, I've been over here tweeting for like 3 weeks about that exact thing. But because I'm not the person they want to hear it from, it's nobody. That's kind of what it is, basically. And the same thing happens in the scene. It's like women can shout into the void for, the entirety of the history of FetLife about online abuse, and then Ferret writes something, and it's like, oh my god, why hasn't anyone ever talked about this before?
to be fair, Ferret
it's
went yell about that too. Yeah.
I'm so glad you're bringing this up. No one ever talks about this. Like, I wish more people talked about this. Why doesn't anyone ever say anything about this? And I just want to shoot everyone. So, yeah. It may just be that. It may just be that they're not seeing it from the people they feel like are valid to be either saying it, or they're not accepting what you're attempting to do, or,
I would be able to handle it much better if people were saying, well, I don't think that's going to work. So I'm like, hey, great, tell me why. Let's have a discussion about this.
At least you're acknowledging my work.
No, that's fine. Let's, because it probably won't work. I'm sure it'll have some problems we don't know about.
But I mean, you got to try something, and it's just...
Right. I just think that trying something is better than doing nothing. So.
Exactly. And I agree. Even if you try something and it turns out to be a disaster, or maybe it just doesn't turn out to be 100%, without kinks, at least you tried it and you can learn from it. But I think some folks are more willing, they're more comfortable with the complete failure than the risk of attempting
or they
to
don't
change.
Want failure.
Well,
yeah.
They're like, my consent quote unquote culture does not work. People are being harmed left and right. But I'm comfortable. I know how this system works. I don't really want to change that and try something else. So I'm just going to pretend that no other options are on the table.
I guess one question. If Tiffrith is saying, why aren't events doing anything, does she not know kind of what Ropecraft is built on? I mean, she's presenting. I guess I don't understand.
Well, I actually talked to her about that, and she said... And it was kind of she said that, well, I know you're doing some things, but I didn't want, since I'm presenting there, I felt like it would be playing favorites if I mentioned it. And in my thought, I'm like, but isn't that called positive reinforcement? I mean, Shouldn't you?
But isn't she presenting at a lot of different cons nowadays? Like, so
Yeah.
what? She can talk about whatever cons she's going to and saying how great this con is doing it?
That's total BS because she'll talk about any other con that she's going at and what she's doing. So,
Well, I think it was just a matter that she's already. I know that she is also getting a whole lot of flack from people, both publicly and privately, for that post. So I'm not holding it against her. I can see her not wanting to draw more to add fuel to the fire. Somebody saying, "Oh, you're just saying that because you want Ropecraft to do all this stuff." I can understand that. But we're hoping, of course. My next thing was great. Let's talk about it in the Ropecast. So. We have plans to do a Ropecast, and we'll talk more about the whole consent thing and what is and isn't being done. And it will, of course, end up being a big advertisement for Ropecraft. Could all of you please remind me next time I do an event to have it not rhyme with something else that I'm doing? Like if I come up with a new event and I decide I'm going to call it the Shmoo, you just slap me. I should share with you, I've had a couple of stress streams about Ropecraft.
Yay, that means you're doing it right.
Yeah, I had one dream where Ropecraft was happening on the same day and in the same hotel as ShibariCon. At the same time. And you know what was funny? So the ShibariCon event was going better than mine.
Oh.
And here's the thing. I wasn't upset about it. It was like this bittersweet of like, oh, well, at least they're having a good time and they're doing good, They need a break. That kind of, it was very, and then the worst one was a couple of nights ago. I dreamt that me and Naya and Miss Amy Red we were hanging out in the gender-neutral bathroom. We're all washing our hands. And I suddenly realized that tomorrow night was a gala dinner, and I had forgotten to put in the food order with the hotel.
Oh,
yeah. I had that horrible sinking feeling of, oh my God, 160 people have bought tickets to this thing, and they want to, blah, blah, blah. And I literally woke up still thinking, oh my God, am I going to have to try and figure out what to do? And then I remembered that the event is still 2 months away. So, yeah, that's been my dreams lately.
That's I don't know what that is. I feel like that means you're doing something right usually when the stress dreams come, but it could just be that's my optimism in play.
Well, I mean, I not like I don't have a lot of other events beforehand too. In fact, I think I don't have a free weekend until 2 weeks after the Ropecraft event. Yep, it's been interesting. And
how are things going, like ticket sales wise?
Pretty good. We've had a little bit of an uptick in the last couple of weeks because we had a really dead time. That usually happens apparently when you have an event that goes over a holiday thing. So we are at about 220 attendees right now, but that includes volunteers and staff.
Okay.
But we are expecting at the after the new year a big uptick because in sales, because people will be like, oh, hey, I don't have to buy gifts anymore, or hey, I got my end of year bonus, or things like that. I still think it's possible to get 400 people.
Okay.
I mean, we're over the halfway point now, so for 400. And Grandmaster David's already happy because he just remembers that the first ShibariCon only had 200 people. So, from his opinion, this is already a viable event, which is good.
People who are going are excited, so.
Yep.
And as long as I guess you're meeting your baseline as far as like costs are going, everything else is extra.
He's the producer. He hasn't complained yet, so we're doing okay.
Awesome.
One thing I did think of, I'm thinking about doing, was reading about the haunted castle or haunted mansion at Disney World, which apparently has this unique thing of it has the, if you're standing in line for it, it actually has these like frames that have images on them, like So they kind of tells the story while you're standing in line.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that for registration, we're going to have people standing in line. We're going to have people board. We should also, aside from the fact we're having people walk around and talk to them, we're also going to probably try and put up a couple of monitors and have like slideshows so people can have something to look at while they're doing that.
Man, I like that.
So make registration more interesting for everybody.
You could even put a few little informational, slides in there.
We are going to have an information slideshow too. We've already started that. It has things like the, don't be rude, don't be, what is it? Don't be rude, don't be dumb, don't be rude, don't be dead, and don't blame us. Things like that.
Well then,
if you kind of mix that in with the entertaining slideshow,
yeah,
that way people don't just tune out the consent slideshow. You know what I mean?
I'm also going to have Griffin, one of the volunteers, dressed in my Imperial officer's uniform, walking around demanding to see people's ID. If they show their ID, then he'll give them a stamp so that they don't have to show it again at the desk. So,
But are you having people sign a form that has their license on it? Like
the registration, actually, let me see if I can pull this up and show it to you, because it is so fucking awesome.
have some catnip, y'all.
Okay. You can all see my screen now, which is Emrys at the moment.
Yep.
Yeah.
But here now it is Nicotine, who is.
Yep.
Sarah Hunter, yes.
Yes, we're just kind of happy because before she did anything, Lokai and Naya and me and Calico all got to hang out with her when she was just thinking about becoming a model.
Yep.
I'm not.
Did that better.
So it was just kind of funny that now she's on the cover of Penthouse. All right, so it's sad because we see all of my horrible registration slideshow. Here it is. So this is how awesome my registration people are. See that flowchart?
Hold on. Sorry, Gray.
I'm not seeing it. I'm just getting your logo.
Really? You won't hang out to sharing your screen with post.google.com.
I can see it.
You're not seeing that?
There we go. Okay.
So this is just the flow of the data, okay, for pre-registration stuff, like for printing the badges and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then this is what's called the person flow, which is the whole methodology for the people to go in and, so let's see if I can zoom in here a little bit. There we go. So, the participant arrives, approaches or is approached by a mobile greeter. Are you pre-registered for Ropecraft? No. Direct to hotel front desk because we only have pre-registered people. I don't know. But I want to register. Or yes. Do you have completed forms and valid ID? No. Give them an event clipboard. Yes. Direct to registration check-in line. And I love things like this, like, do you have forms completed and valid ID? What ID? Then you explain what the ID is, and they go back to here. Do you have the forms completed? What forms? And you give them the forms. So they've got everything figured out here. This whole,
Wow.
I mean, it's sexy. It is awesome. Notice down here, this is the included in professional photography. Proceed to photo consent booth. To add spice to your badge, proceed to the pimp your badge table. To go shopping, proceed to the vendor fair. Then we're going to have a help desk, and yeah. So, yeah, we have we have awesome people in charge of the registration. I am very excited about that.
Okay. I guess my question is, Grace, so if you have that person walking around as a stormtrooper and tell them they can put their ID away, I mean...
No, I'm sorry. The idea is more that they check that they have it ready so that when they get up to the front, they don't go, here I am. Oh, shoot, I left it in my room.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry.
I mean, they're still going to... But he also can do things... I mean, he actually is a government official. And he can sort of verify that it's the right kind of ID. Like if somebody, for some reason, has, I don't know, what would not be a valid... has a library card, and they think it's going to be a valid ID. You know.
What counts as valid ID for this event?
Do you want the short list or the official list? If you want the official list, I'd have to email you the document. But basically,
I mean, does it have to have like date of birth?
Yes.
Have
proof of date.
Height, all that good stuff on it.
It has to have date of birth, photograph, and it has to be from some legal entity. So, like my VA identification card would not work. My passport would. If I had a military ID, that would work.
So a state or government issued ID.
Yes.
Basically.
The where it gets complicated, we actually had to order a specific guidelines from the United States government as to what qualifies the ID, just on the off chance that somebody comes in from outer Mongolia with a passport, and we have to determine if it's a valid ID or not. Not that I see that happening, but it's better to be safe than sorry. So, yeah, I'm actually really excited for registration because the stuff that we have planned for it, I'm hoping to be people walk away going, oh my God, that was the best registration I've ever.
Well, I'll be working it, so they'll go away saying it was the best registration ever.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was my ego checking off. It'll go away. It popped up this month.
How is your
event
going, Kashmir? How are you feeling about your event?
I'm feeling pretty good. Everyone and their mother and dog and sister and brother are super excited about it. So, I mean, once tickets go on sale, that'll be, the proof in the pudding. But this week I'm writing my FAQ, and then I'll be pretty much working on everything else. Oops, there's Marcus. Say hi, Marcus. But it's going really well.
Cool.
So.
Nice. Emrys, Kashmir is doing an open space event, not related to kink, so that's it.
Cool.
It's
vanilla open space?
It's spirituality, that type of thing.
Cool.
It's gonna be awesome.
Sorry.
And by the way, I also apologize to both of you, both of you Windows, because I'm supposed to have given Emrys a job description based on some stuff that she sent me, and I'm supposed to have a photography policy to you, Russ, and I haven't done either one because I've been busy being a grandpa. Yeah, that's right. I'll put the
Grandpa, uncle.
Yeah, grandpa/uncle.
Well, given that it was the holidays and everything, that's understandable.
I appreciate that. I wish I could give myself the excuse. But allow me to show off this, by the way. You notice the mug that I'm...
Oh, cool! It's that thing I keep seeing on Twitter.
Yes, this is the... Jim Duval took a picture of me and I doing cigar play, and Mary Bassett is an artist from England who decided to make a painting out of it, and we ordered from Redbubble and got... This is a mug. I mean, you can get a shower curtain with this on it.
We thought that might be a bit much for us to have.
Yeah, but it'll be interesting. Oh, and we are also ordering booty shorts and t-shirts.
Wait, what?
Ordering booty shorts and not with this, although we could. No, we're for Ropecraft swag. We're going to have pins, we're going to have booty shorts, we're going to have t-shirts.
I mean, I'm going to need a pair of those booty shorts. For me, cats, get out of the cabinet. What are you doing?
So you mean to tell me, Gray, that the pins will be for sale and can be in the attendees' hot little hands at the event?
I do not have them in my hand yet, so I will not say yes, but I will say they have been ordered and paid for.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
So you should get them before a year is up.
you should get them before a year's up. Yes. Yes. That's almost for sure.
If not, I will guarantee you, I will kick someone's ass.
Yeah. No, we're the thing that I'm more worried about is we're trying to figure out what everybody has, like 73 bags from all their events and stuff like that. So we don't use a bag for a common thing to something to give everybody. But people also all have T-shirts, and they also all have we're thinking of notebooks as possibly the thing, but still haven't found one that I like enough to make it doable. So the big question is, what's the common thing that we can give everybody that will be useful, that will be Ropecrafty. So when I figure that out,
Well, what are you currently giving?
We haven't picked anything yet. I mean, the options.
What about the little, rope tie-off napkin things?
Cheeky.
Yeah, that.
So we looked for Tenagui. There is nowhere that has a decent price for Tenagui. We were actually thinking of Furoshiki, which is basically a giant Tenagui. And the Furoshiki was also that was way out of the range of cost. It would have cost like almost as much as the hotel itself to order everybody Furoshiki. So so we're not sure what to do about that. So we're still. I mean, I thought about bandanas or something like that, like basically type thing. And we still might do that. We did order the bandanas for the different groups. Hey, you want to know what colors each group will have? Registration group?
Yeah.
All right. And then I gotta go eat dinner. But first, I can tell you this. All right. And were you able to tell that I've been doing this whole thing in my underwear?
Haha.
All right. Registration will be having maroon red bandanas. Medical will have royal blue bandanas. The open space team will have orange bandanas. The ops team will have green bandanas. The setup team will have purple bandanas. And the Rashomon and you, Emrys, will have white bandanas.
All right. Are they just going to be plain, or what? Will they have something on them?
Have a rope and space. See, that's what I mean. I need rope and space, Ropecast, Ropecraft logo on it. They'll have a Ropecraft logo on it. I might even be able to have like the name of what each group is on it, but I'm not sure about that.
Wait, so which bandana am I under?
Which one are you under?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're photography. Hey, come to think of it, I have it under the photography team. I was thinking of that as ops, but no, you should have your own bandana.
I mean, there's only 3 of us.
Well, yeah, but still. White, purple, green, orange, blue, red. What don't we have? We don't have pink.
I want a turquoise one.
It's a breast cancer, so be careful.
Yeah, that's true.
Is it possible to dye these? Can they be dyed?
Well, I mean, you can dye them after we order them. You're welcome to dye them any way you like. But no, especially if we're getting things printed on them.
What about
purple? You have purple ones?
Yep, purple is going to be set up. Although I haven't told, the only people that I've told are the Rope and Space and the registration folks. So we could always change some of these.
Oh,
So,
are we looking for a color for photography?
yeah.
Hmm.
Did you have yellow, or black, or purple?
No, we don't have yellow. Black is going to be a black one for me and for Master David.
Okay.
We don't have. Yeah, we don't have. We also there could be a gray one too if you wanted.
Oh, yeah, let's do gray.
Well,
No, for
boy.
rope. I'm thinking of flagging for rope, actually.
Okay.
I'm not trying to hoist you up on a higher pedestal than you already are.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look into gray. Ops is green. Yeah. Okay, I should be able to do that. I'll add that into the order. I'm talking. Ezra is the name of the guy who's we're ordering these things through. It's a guy who lives in Houston. So we're actually doing a really good job of keeping all of the products that we order within the kink community.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, here's a question for you guys, and it's sort of a sub rosa because I know you guys are on the staff. I had a sponsor tell me that they were having to field phone calls and texts saying, "Why are you sponsoring this event when it has presenters / people involved who have, quote, shitty consent records?"
Hmm.
And I thought to myself, this has really kept me up one night. That's interesting. I tried to think of who I knew that might have a shitty consent record. And then I actually did some research online in like the various places where people write about shitty consent records, like even the May's database.
Mm-hmm.
Searched everybody's name, presenters, staff, sponsors. Nobody was on that database. Nobody was on the website that reprints stuff that is written on FetLife about it. So I'm not sure who or what they were talking about, and unfortunately, it was an unknown person saying some folks, and then shitty consent record, which is not all three very vague things. But basically, if any of you know of anything, please send it my way or let me know, just so that I have a heads up for addressing it. I'm not worried. I feel like I've done due diligence in terms of looking up things. But that also includes keeping an open mind to other things that might happen or have happened in the more recent time that haven't been written about. So if any of you hear anything about anyone, I'd love to have a heads up.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be now or whatever, but and also if you have any idea of what they might be talking about, I'd love a heads up, because I was able to think of one situation, but as far as I know, that situation has been resolved. So
Did the sponsor ask them what they were talking about?
The sponsor's response was, well, the people that we are sponsoring do not have that kind of record, to the best of our knowledge, and to the best of Gray's knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
They didn't ask who the person was specifically suggesting.
No. So yeah, I mean, I realize that people are going to talk no matter what, but if you hear of anything, I'd love to know about it.
Will do.
I got dinner coming my way, so I'm going to close this thing down. Thank you guys for showing up.
Awesome.
No problem.
All right, have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.